Right guys, the Champions League is back, and after weeks of waiting, the first match we're treated to is a clash of titans. A real blockbuster, a real mouth-watering affair between the kings of Europe, Real Madrid, and Manchester City.
Right. You're not from here.
Okay, seriously, all jokes aside, Manchester City on current form are literally the best team in the world. And I don't think there's any debating that. So coming into this game, I was expecting some fireworks. I was expecting, some real explosions. I was expecting goals. And what we got was a 1-1. The way that this game went back and forth, the dominance teetered back and forth. You couldn't really say that one team dominated more than the other. I think in spurts, Real Madrid were phenomenal. In spurts, Manchester City were unstoppable. It at some points looked like a WrestleMania match as well because we had individual battles all over the pitch. We had Erling Haaland going up against Antonio Rudiger. We had Danny Carvajal going up against Jack Grealish. What a contest that is. Now, these types of individual battles are so key, especially in games like this one, a Champions League semifinal where everything is on the line. Rudiger wouldn't give Haaland time or space on the ball. And when he was off the ball, he was in his shirt. He was harassing him. He wasn't giving him the time and space to normally be his robotic self. Haaland has been a specimen of different class this season. In the Premier League, in the Champions League, in the domestic competitions, he's just been a freak of nature. And today, Rudiger kind of put him down a couple notches. He stopped him from being his creative self. He stopped him from getting him behind. Alaba did an amazing job as well, partnering Rudiger to stop Haaland's threat. Manchester City at some points really looked more threatening when Rodri was on the ball dictating the play, and he got it out to players like Gundogan, and he got it out to players like Kevin de Bruyne. Because De Bruyne was actually more forward in this game than Erling Haaland. If you look at City's average positions, Kevin De Bruyne was leading the line for Manchester City. We also saw John Stones sometimes be higher up the pitch than Rodri.
Wagwan Generals.
But this is the thing. Rodri is so key for Manchester City. 91 touches on the ball. The most out of any player on the pitch. 76 accurate passes with a 96% completion rate. Rodri is absolutely phenomenal in his position, and he's someone that Manchester City need in their progression of the ball. Someone who can take it and slow the game down. I'll put up some clips here where Manchester City absolutely broke through Real Madrid's press with ease. And this is something that Manchester City are known for. But Real Madrid did a good job of pressing when they needed to and backing off when they needed to. There was a good balance, a good mix, which allowed them to conserve their stamina. And I know I've been singing the praises of Rodri, but he made one crucial mistake that turned the tide of the game completely. He hesitated. He gave the ball away to Vinicius Jr. He crossed it in, and thankfully Ruben Dias was there. But from that point on, I think it was around the 20th minute of the game, Real Madrid had the foothold. They knew how to get at Manchester City. Get them to hesitate, get them to take a couple extra touches, and the game now suddenly becomes a bit predictable. Real Madrid did what they had to do to keep Manchester City at bay, and all it took were two passes. A quick 1-2 between Luka Modric and Eduardo Camavinga for Camavinga to get up the pitch, and the rest is history with Vinicius Jr. What a player. Seriously, two brilliant strikes in this game to separate the teams. 1-1 was definitely the deserved result. Going into the second leg at the Etihad, who knows what we're going to expect? Who knows what's going to happen? This is a proper knockout game now. There's no room for error. There's no room for error. Whoever lets in the first goal, my prediction now, whoever lets in the first goal at the Etihad is losing. Whoever scores first will go on to the final of the Champions League to face either Inter Milan or AC Milan. Remember how I said earlier that there was no clear dominant team in this game? In different individual moments of the game, Real Madrid dominated. In different individual spurts of the game, Manchester City dominated. I mentioned that Rodri was a key factor in Manchester City controlling their play, getting around Real Madrid's press. Let's talk about Real Madrid now. Eduardo Camavinga. What a serious player we have on our hands. At the age of 20, the dude plays with so much confidence, so much conviction, so much tenacity, audacity.
Now listen, that's called bars.
The kid is a serious baller. Seriously, he's playing in a position that's unfamiliar to him. Well, it's familiar now because he's been playing in this position mainly as Real Madrid's left back since, I think, January. So he's used to the position by now. But let's be real. He is a freak of nature. There's a lot of freak of natures in this game on the pitch at the same time. Vinicius Jr., Kevin de Bruyne, Erling Haaland, Luka Modric, Benzema. I could go on and on. But let me highlight Camavinga. 3 key passes. Obviously, one pass led to a Real Madrid goal, a beautiful goal at that. 5 tackles, 9 ground duels won from Eduardo Camavinga, who we know is a defensive midfielder by trade, a midfielder by heart. But slotting him into that left back position is not easy. He's going up against players like Bernardo Silva. He's going up against Kevin de Bruyne, who sometimes likes to drift wide. And he did a great job. He attacked well. He defended well. In the second half, we saw Camavinga get a little bit more forward, a little bit more central as well to kind of ease the pressure. He's a freak of nature, you know, and I think it's important to highlight how important he was in Real Madrid, even getting into the positions that they were today. He was driving forward. He was making key passes. It was important for him to be in that left back position today because it allowed Real Madrid the fortune of having Valverde, Kroos, and Modric, a completely balanced midfield. A completely balanced midfield with experience, pace, technique, flair, all of the above. And you have someone like Camavinga, you have someone like David Alaba, who are great ball-playing defenders. You know, Camavinga's a defender, but in this game, he played in defense. So it's important to say. It's important to see and important to note that. And yeah, the second leg is going to be amazing. Now, we can't forget about Manchester City's beautiful, and I mean beautiful goal. Take a look at this bullet, this absolute rocket from Kevin de Bruyne. Look at that, how it goes into the back of the net. And what's even funnier, look at the reactions of the Real Madrid players. Like, what do we do? How do we stop that? Is there even a point in diving for Thibaut Courtois? Because as soon as the ball left De Bruyne's foot, back of the net, it was going. It was going and it wasn't going to get stopped. And this, for me, is what separates Manchester City from the rest of the teams in Europe, in England, wherever you want to go. Kevin de Bruyne is a freak.
Nice.
He's unstoppable in his stride, his passing range, his vision, his strike technique is better than most strikers in the world. And he's a midfielder. A midfielder that does his job pretty well. Manchester City are so lucky to have a brilliant manager in Pep Guardiola and a brilliant footballer in Kevin de Bruyne. And then they have that iRobot dude up top. It's over. It's over. But in this game, 1-1 was the deserved result. The Etihad is going to be rocking. It's going to be booming. Second leg. And I can't wait to cover that for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think Manchester City will just be able to edge Real Madrid? Or do you think Real Madrid is going to continue their run of being the best ever team to grace a Champions League final? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you like the video, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Let me know your thoughts on the second leg and your thoughts on the footballing world in general. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys. And as always, keep it easy. Stay safe. Peace.